Hello and welcome, family, to Dr. Mumbi's spiritual show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms, in your own story, family, because there's so much exposure there's going on about how we've lived in a massive lie for like 2,000 years. And now that massive lie is coming to an end. But if you don't start building your own foundation of truths, when this lie gets fully exposed, you'll find yourself on a very slippery slope, family. You've seen the title. This is not clickbait. This is really what happened and what is going on. But before I even get into that, special shout out to our Patreon family. Thank you so much for supporting us on this platform. And thank you to everyone that sends us love donations through PayPal. We appreciate, love you so much. And everyone who has joined our Unity community, which is like our conscious communities across the world. Oh, it's exciting. I'm so excited to see where this goes. But back to the issue at hand, family. The false Messiah who was to rise in the end is Jesus Christ. The Mzungu Jesus, the blonde hair, blue-eyed, Cesare Borgia, or whatever his name was. Because you see, the end started 2,000 years ago. We've been in the end, but now we're in the end of the end. And even if some false Messiah shows up now, he will never be able to get that stronghold on an entire humanity the way this Mzungu Jesus has been able to entrap and hold prisoner the minds of Africans and the minds of melanated people everywhere. As I've said before, Jesus did not exist, not the way you're taught about him. We have had messiahs come through, gods walking on this earth come through since time immemorial, family. The original ones, the ancient ones. They never came as a man alone. It was always a male and female counterpart. The Jesus Christ that was presented to you was an abomination, is an abomination. It's a story of how the male spirit, the masculine energy has totally taken over and dominated this feminine planet and even dominated the women. Like so many things happen in the name of Jesus. Women are discriminated against and have been for so long in the name of Jesus, because of Jesus. So many sins, so many crimes have been committed because of this. And the reason I share this, family, is because time is of the essence for you to end your religious psychosis, for you to really know the truth. Be brave, be filled with courage. There's actually a book, I think it's called Black Root Science. It's online. It's a book I always give to anyone who supports us or joins our Patreon. Familiarize yourself with that book. Get other ideas in here. So many of you know the Jesus story, and yet you don't even know the story of your own ancestors, you don't even know the lineage of your own kings and queens, of your own chiefs, of your own mighty prophets and mighty seers. The Antichrist has been ruling these last 2,000 years. That Antichrist is Jesus, family. There was a teacher, there will be another teacher. But the whole book, especially the New Testament, it's like, you see, the Old Testament was taken, actually the entire Bible was taken from our teachings. And if you look at how we, the oral tradition of Africans, and how we passed on knowledge through stories, and there was always, you said so much in a story without saying so much. That's how the Old Testament stories were written. And the New Testament is the book of magic, especially with that book of Revelations, because they've turned everything upside down. The only thing they've told you that's true is that that messianic spirit, the Christ, the God of this age, who some say is Yahweh, who knows? Because some say Yahweh is a dragon. I mean, you see, expand your thinking, expand the thoughts. That there will be a return. That return is happening in this season. But they're hoping that by making Jesus a mzungu and beating and raping and mashing that into us for generations, until it's literally even in our DNA, that when our spiritual rescue comes, when our true king comes, when the male and the female Messiah appear and they look like you'll actually be like, oh hell no, this is the false one, this is the false prophet. And they did that to kill that, because there's been great teachers. Every generation is born with their teachers, their prophets, their healers, their seers. Every generation, their judges, their musicians. But for the generation since like 2000, 0 AD, let's say, or whatever, for the last 2000 years, so many of those prophets have been blocked because of the Antichrist Jesus. So many great teachers, great rulers who came here to shift things were either killed, chased away, accused of being wicked witches and wizards. They could never stand in their glory because that glory had been taken and put on this false image called Jesus. Because there's a great healer in your nation. There are great seers in your nation. You shouldn't have to go out to look to pray to someone in the sky. Call Jesus, family. Like, this has stunted a lot of growth. And sadly, if you don't graduate from this thinking, if you don't release this religious psychosis, or at least confront it, do the research and know that I'm standing on this because I've done my research, I've looked into everything. I've looked even into the theories of how Heru of Egypt is Jesus. I've looked into all of those, and my Jesus is still my Jesus. Fine, I'd even agree with you. But many of you who are on this religious psychosis, it's because it was what you're told, and that's not enough. The test of this age is not based on what you're told. It's based on what you've learned for yourself, what you've questioned. Question everything, family. It's okay to question. The Most High Creator is a big enough creator where he doesn't mind if you question and explore. There's enough room for all of us. And remember that the narrative is everything. So why has this narrative been told to you? It's literally lulled people to sleep. It's been the most, this Antichrist spirit of Jesus, Cesare Borgia, has handicapped our people. It has made our people always seek things outside of themselves. Recognition, praise. Because if you're seeking your crown, as in your God, outside of yourself, then that means at every level you will seek outside of you, for your health, for how you should eat, for what you should think, for what you should teach your children, for all these things, you'll be seeking outside of yourself. And that's the curse. That's the curse, family. that is over so many of our people. And that's not a curse anyone can remove from you. It's something you have to dig deep and face that Antichrist spirit in your life that has made you worship something else that you don't even understand, that doesn't even look like you. That is your most important battle in this season. Because the Messiah is returning and he's nothing like what you've been taught. These great beings we speak of, we're too limited in our thinking to even fathom what it was like when they were here or what they were like. Humanity is at its lowest of the low. Now is when we're rising, family. So there are so many things that are beyond the scope of our imagination because they're beyond the scope of the narrative that we've been taught. Time is of the essence for you to set yourself free with the truth. And it's not about what your mama believes. It's not about my whole family is Catholic. It's not about, my I'll be disowned by this. It's about you and your salvation. This is your salvation. The salvation is mental. There's a lot of truths covered up in a whole lot of lies. But a lot of people are waiting for some false messiah. And I'm sure they'll try some blue beam where they'll project some blue-haired, blonde-eyed, I always get a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Jesus in the sky. But that is the Antichrist. And when you really, really do your research and look at the whole scope of the damage that Christianity has done to African civilization, then you'll remember this video. You'll remember this show. You may feel emotional now, but remember, whatever gets you angry, whatever gets you riled up, there's something there that you need to investigate further. Because it's never that serious. But then again, if you believe in it, it really is. And that is your bondage. Don't forget, if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, you can always get in touch. We do a show called Ask Dr. Mumbi. So Dr. Mumbi at drmumbishow.com. Thanks to everyone that has joined our Unity communities. More information coming there. Don't be afraid to question. Don't be afraid to expand your mind. You need that. And all the information is online for you to do that. I know they made you believe it's a sin to even question Jesus. And yet if you don't question, you'll never be free. Tuko pamoja. Looking for a conscious community or for people, who are on their awakening journey, on their transition to an off-grid living in your country, well, we have the solution, family. We're calling it Unity Communities. We get so many emails every week from people who ask if I know of people in their region or people in their city or people in their town who are on a similar kind of journey, who have broken away or are breaking away from the religious psychosis, and they're looking for just people who think the same way in their town, in their city. But more importantly, to to give us a community where we feel understood, understood, overstood, where we can bond with people of like mind. And if you feel called to be part of this, definitely email me at drmumbishow.com. Please put your country in the subject line with Unity Communities. Get in touch with me, Dr. Mumbi at drmumbishow.com. Unity Communities.